Chad Brendo, Bearcat Journal here with Tyler Scott. Tyler, let's get right to it. Who's the fastest guy on the team?
Me.
No questions asked? You put the fastest 40 time down. You got the crown.
I'm going with me.
Did Brady give you a belt? Like you?
He didn't give me a belt, but you know, if anybody asks, I'm going with me.
You edged out Trey in that. How competitive is that between you two?
It's very competitive.
And does Drew Donnelly let you know that he's got like?
You know, I've heard him mumble a couple words, but he hasn't actually got with us yet. He came in the summer, and I don't think he raced with us. I don't think he didn't even have any races with us. I think he was more with the freshmen. So next year, going into workouts, he'll definitely get a taste of.
Have you seen him on the treadmill yet?
I have seen a video. Coach Brown was sending me a whole bunch of videos and clips before he came down.
Coming for your throne.
Yeah, he was texting me and trying a little group chat telling us, I got somebody, that's going to touch y'all. So,
We'll see.
Oh, yeah.
How fun has this been, man? Like getting ready for this, the anticipation, the hype, getting back on campus with students. Can you start to feel like this thing's about to start?
For sure. I'm looking at I'm getting emails talking about the first game is sold out. I'm looking at the student section talking about tickets are running low. Just seeing everybody back on campus too. We're at higher ground. Coming back, seeing so many students, and even last year for me, when I was during the Kobe year, I came back to campus. It was really, not too many people on campus, so I didn't really get to feel, that college experience of having a whole bunch of students on campus. So this is my first time actually feeling people on campus. People hear people talk about it, and I went to dinner with one of the guys that's on the track team. He just talked about how excited he was to come to the game and just share his thoughts.
Did you get to a game your senior year in high school?
Yeah, I did. I went to, I want to say 3 games. It was like Miami of Ohio, Temple, and Tulsa.
Okay. So you've seen what that place is like when it's cranking.
The only thing I haven't seen is Nip and Night.
Right.
I haven't got to see that, so I've heard it's crazy, so I'm excited for that.
How excited just to have the place full? Because that had to be a letdown. It was so weird.
Very.
Coming out and looking around and there just being nobody there.
You're right. I came out and I'm like, man, I'm used to having people at the game and you look around and you see your family and stuff like that sitting behind us. But I mean, other than that, it was pretty dead. But honestly, for me, it's my first year. I just enjoyed the experience, just being out, a college student.
Yeah.
There to play football on the college level, still televised. So I had people text me, I see you on the TV, things like that. So it was cool. So.
How much do you feel your game expanded last year? You got a chance to kind of grow and learn, and you really started to take advantage of it in the spring, but you stepped on the gas here in the summer.
Yeah, so I came in as I played running back.
Yeah.
From when I was 8 years old all the way to my senior in high school. So coming here, being a receiver was a huge transition. I started off as a third-string slot receiver in fall camp last year in higher ground. Worked my way up, continued to work and things of that nature, and I got to starting X now. But my game has tremendously improved. Due to the help of Coach Brown and Coach Benz, they've been huge help. But yeah, just learning little things and little details. Honestly, learning from Kobe and just going against him and just seeing the mind of a cornerback. Just seeing, learning leverage, learning, just all types of things like that. I think it's just tremendously improved.
They nickname you the old head.
Yeah.
You and Kobe seem like maybe kindred spirits. Like, is that like you guys been drawn to each other?
Yeah, we definitely have. We talk quite a bit. We have a nice little relationship. We're from Northeast Ohio.
Yeah.
He went to Cleveland Glenville. I'm from Akron, so we have a little connection there already. Just knowing different people and just kind of with football plays, up in Northeast Ohio. But yeah, I'm the old head. So I accept my role.
You're awful young to be the old head. Has it just always been that way?
It's always been that way. I know I got some older parents, that may be, the reason. My aunt, she raised me, my great-grandma, they raised me and they were, kind of from down south a little bit. So it's things like, I'll come and I'll have different foods like, liver, pig feet, fried chicken, all those kind of southern old school foods.
Yeah.
I'm always bringing to the crib, to kind of say, hey, try this, try that. Like, I'm not trying that. That's that old people stuff. I'm like, no, go ahead, try it. I grew up eating this type of stuff, so things like that. I wear a robe. I got a neck pillow. I'm just real. You walk into the room, I have a robe on. I got my neck pillow. I'm real chill, laid back. You walk into my room, everything's white. It's real calming. I got a little water fountain sitting on my desk. People see when they walk in, so. I listen to old school music too, so that's just part of me. So
being the X guy, moving outside, like you said, you were running back your whole life. You had to learn the slot. How much did that help moving outside, and how much has it just been a constant learning process with Coach Brown of figuring out what it means to be an outside guy and playing off Alex, who has, has had a really big camp.
Yeah, well, I mean, playing Z in the beginning kind of helped me understand, X as well, because he kind of mirrored. Because I mean, everything is, it's kind of mirrored up. So I kind of knew, okay, at Z, this is their assignment. This is where their landmark is. And now playing X is like, okay, I know what they have to do. Now, how can I mirror things up, to help them out or to help myself out even more? So honestly, playing X a little bit helped me a lot when I transitioned, or playing Z a little bit helped me a lot when I transitioned to X. So I think that was a pretty good help.
Not to take anything away from anybody else, but you guys got back here. Kobe got back on the field more. Did that kind of ramp you up even more than now?
No, I got to really be on my P's and Q's because Kobe, he hadn't been really active, all fall physically, but his mind is still sharp. You get out there, he knows what's coming. He's playing my route as if, he's in the huddle.
Yeah.
Or he can, he's just so smart. Which honestly helps me even more because now I have to up my game to learn, okay, what can I do to go against a great corner who is already great, but then also knows the play. So what can I do, little things to help send my route or, put little nicks and crannies on my route to help get open. So, definitely have to, definitely makes me rev my game up a little bit more.
We joked at camp that you're always open. Since we've been back here, you've been open less. Not an accident.
Yeah, trust me. I mean, Kobe has a big part to do with that. And even Todd. Todd has stepped his game up from fall. He had a little rough camp, but, we kind of talked. We have a real good relationship.
Felt like he bounced back the last week.
He has. And we had a... We've had a huge, huge talks. We usually talk after practice, we'll eat, and we'll just sit down and kind of go through each other's minds and kind of, pick our brains a little bit, because he was kind of frustrated during camp, talking about, man, what can I do to be better? What's the difference? What's the difference between, myself and spring ball and, fall camp? And, just talking to him, and I'm just giving him little tips of advice on, what I felt against, going against him in spring ball versus going against him in fall camp. And even now, even today, I could feel his energy, just the way he's playing, his aggressiveness, he's just more like it, so.
Take me through you and Jaden kind of battling out for that X spot now. Does that help when you got somebody that's pushing and kind of breathing down your neck? Because you both have elevated a lot.
Yeah, for sure. I got to send my piece of because he's right there, you know what I'm saying? So, I came into, after spring ball, Coach told me, if we had a game today, he said, you're in the right to start. I said, okay, cool. So going into fall camp, going into a higher ground, one of the things I told myself, putting emphasis is, so what can I do to stay a starter and continue to be where I'm at, but also improve? And the biggest thing was consistency. I know I got a kid that's, great receiver who is right on my neck. So I'm like, so what do I got to do to stay above, the guy right behind me? And the biggest thing was just being consistent. What I do is make a play. So. You
guys were, I think you finished second in offense in school history last year, points scored. The 2009 team that went undefeated and had a barely missed playing in the national championship is number one.
Yeah.
You guys think you can knock them off as the highest scoring offense in UC football history?
I would hope so. I think the biggest thing, it starts with the head man, which is Dez. And the biggest thing I can say with him is his confidence has been such a big shift from last year to this year. He's just so much more confident. I mean, the way he's just throwing the ball, even his releases. I mean, he's out here sidearming passes now. And I'm like, okay, this is something new. But you could just tell by the way he walks, the way he carries himself in meetings, just talking to him. We better have a much better relationship now. And just being able to, kind of read each other's minds and say, what were you thinking here, what were you thinking there. But I think it starts there with him. And then it just trickles down. It's a trickle-down effect. And I think we're heading in the right direction.
How much better has Evan gotten?
I think he's gotten a lot better, just from last year. He looks a lot faster, too. I remember me and Trevor,
a little wiggle to him.
He does. Me and Trevor joking last year. It was one play versus Austin PA. He got in, late in the game. We were up. And he did it was like a little read play. He kept the ball, and it was a defensive end that was kind of standing. They were kind of head up. And it was basically a race to see if he could get around the corner. He didn't get around the corner. And me and Trey looked at each other like, maybe he's just tight. Maybe he just needs to stretch out a little bit. So we kept saying that, everything all through the season, maybe just tight a little bit, maybe just stretch out. Come fall camp in higher ground, I'm seeing this dude run. I'm like, man, And me, we're looking at each other like, do you see this? Like, he is really sliding. And then even his velocity on the ball, like, he's definitely improved in his confidence. But
When you look back on your decision to commit to Cincinnati, what do you think when you think back on that?
I tell people this all the time. Like, I haven't once since I've been here thought, man, I wish I would have been here. Or, man, I wish I would have picked another school. Like, I haven't thought about another school since I've been here. I love it here. I love the coaches. I love the staff. And it's trickled down from Fickle. Just seeing the man that he is. The man he is, it trickles down on his coaching staff because then he brings in guys that kind of are wired like him. And you could tell, people talk about relationships and, brotherhood. He really means that. He really tries to take care of his players. And you can see that when he brings in different coaches. Even when you have coaches coming in and out, you can still see the same concept, the same type of spirit of just brotherhood and just, you know what I'm saying? You can see it in his coaching staff. And that's the biggest thing that, that I really wanted when I came to the school, was just somebody who, or just a program where I could just feel, at home, So I love it here.
All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, no problem.